Hey guys, this is my 2005 Subaru Outback XT, and it has a very pesky problem. The headlights don't work. Now, I've been through a lot of this with this car. At first, just the right headlight was a little dim, and I noticed that it would never brighten up when it came off of the daytime running light, which is like a reduced voltage. If you play with the switch a whole bunch of times, every now and then, now you'll get them to work. But today we're going to dig into why they're not working and hopefully fix it. So I currently have the headlights on, or at least commanded on by the switch. And the first thing I'm going to do is check the headlight fuses. To do this, we're going to pull this cover off in the engine bay. The headlight fuses, put this over here, are these two 15 amp fuses right here. We're going to use the supplied fuse removal tool. Pull one out. And before we even check the fuse visually, we're going to see if we have power. We're going to use this very cheap test light, and we can tell test light works. Put it on hot right here. So we do not have power to this fuse. Let's try the other one. I'm going to suspect, I gotta use a tool. I'm going to suspect that we have no power here either. I'm going to leave that there. Alright, so we have no power. So there's no power getting to the fuse. Now, I don't have the wiring diagram in front of me, and I'm trying to fix this without the wiring diagram because most people don't have access to that. That's why I'm not using fancy tools. I'm just using a cheap test light to try to diagnose this issue. Now, when we check these fuses, I'm going to assume that you know what a burned up fuse looks like. These are not. I've already had them out and looked at them. They are in good shape. I could check this with a continuity tester, but I don't really feel the need. These are not the only fuses you need to check. There's a cabin fuse box. This has 3 fuses you need to check. You need to check 2 of the 7.5 amp fuses. They are for the left hand and right hand. They're for the relay. And we're going to do that right now. I'm going to pull one right now. Keep in mind I still have the headlights commanded on. There's the fuse. It does not appear to be bad. Let's see if we have power. And you can see we have power. Okay, so we can put that fuse back in. Let's go to the next. It's right here. Oh, I thought I had it out. And that fuse also looks okay. And we have power. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but we have power. So there's one more fuse. Get this one back in. And that fuse is called the lamp ignition. And that is a 10 amp fuse right next to one of the ones you just checked. And let's check that really closely. And we have power. Now, I haven't checked ground. Next, we're going to check the headlight relays, which are located here and here. Alright, so again, I have the headlights commanded on. I have my trusty $2 test light. And we're going to probe this and see if we have power. Alright, we have 1 power, so we should have power in more than one leg. Okay, so we have 2 powers in that relay. 1, 2. Alright, so now we're going to check the ground. We're going to clamp the test light to the power, which then we can verify the ground. So we don't have ground at one of the relays. We have the main source ground. Okay, ground there. So we're missing a ground, which is the switched section, which tells me that this is not getting signal from the inside of the cab. Wherever the problem is, it lies before the fuse box. Now the next piece of the system in line is the daytime running light module, which is located in the upper left dash. Alright, so I've already removed the lower cover here to kind of show you where this daytime running light module is. There you go, you can see it up in the corner. It's right up here. There are two connectors on it, one white, one black. A lot of people disable the daytime running lights by removing the white connector. In this situation, that doesn't really fix the problem. I've already verified this. So bypassing it doesn't fix it. The headlight circuit still runs through this module. So we're going to pull this out, and I actually have a spare that we're going to try to see if that fixes anything. We're also going to check power and ground at this module. Alright, so I've got this module unplugged. We're going to focus on the black connector, as this is the one that we know will operate the headlights even when the white connector is disconnected. So we're going to check for power. It should have power at 2 pins. Alright, so the first one we're going to check for power is this blue and green wire. It is located at the top corner. We're going to see if this is power. This is supplied power to the module. And as you can see, we have power. I have the other side of this test light grounded. The next one we're going to check is the blue with yellow tracer, as this is the supplied power to the relays in the fuse box. And I can hear the relays click. I don't know if you can see that, but this kind of lights up dim as current is running through this. All right, next we're going to check for ground. I am using the same supplied power as my 12 volt test, and then we are going to go to the terminal directly underneath it, which is the ground for the module. Alright, so we're going to touch that terminal. It's kind of difficult. As you can see, it lights up. Alright, so at this point we've tested our powers and grounds to the module, and they are correct, which leads me to believe that the module is the problem. Alright, to replace this module, you just need to get to that one single 10mm bolt located at the top of the firewall. After you get that bolt out, the module will simply slide out. Alright, prior to this video, I snagged a few parts at the local wreckers just in case this was the possible problem. I've gone ahead and installed the used daytime running light module, and we are going to check it now. Alright, success. Both headlights turn on and off as they should. Everything works. I've tested it multiple times, every which way I could. I wanted to show you guys how I came to my problem, how I diagnosed that as the problem, how I repaired it, using a very rudimentary set of tools. I understand a lot of people don't have access to some of the more expensive scopes and meters. There's no need for any of that. A test light will get you pretty far. So, totally unrelated to the module though, this headlight was pretty cloudy on the inside of the lens, which is why it had a lower light output than it was supposed to. I had an extra headlight laying around, as I do with a lot of parts, and it was very simple to swap the headlight over, and voila, everything's fixed. Subscribe for more repairs on these type of cars. This applies to 2005 to 2009 Subaru Outback and Legacy. Have a good day, guys.